Thank you for tuning in. Here we are together again on the radio, and more scientific evidence why you don't want to be with a working broad. I mean, if you're with a chick who is so unattractive that she has to work to make a living, why would you want to be there anyway? But we've talked on this program many times about how there's no point in living with a woman or getting married if when you get home she's not there. And there's any number of reasons why you would not enjoy that situation. This Reuters story from London. Researchers say that the sex drive of women plummets sharply as they juggle the increasing demands of partners, children, and careers. 1 in 10 women questioned for a survey admitted losing interest in sex for at least 6 months in the past year. Dr. Catherine Mercer of University College London said the next major problem was the inability to have an orgasm. That was reported by 4% of women. The study was made of over 11,000 men and women aged 16 to 44. We tell you not to get married. Here's more scientific evidence why you shouldn't. Married women, it says here, were shown to be much more likely than single men or women to have sexual problems. We've talked to you many times about the old bait and switch, the old loss leader. Oh, yeah, women love sex till they get you to sign on the dotted line, and suddenly they find every excuse in the world not to give you what they gave you before. Well, here you go. Married women much more likely than single men or women to have sexual problems. Says the survey showed that both sexes tend to suffer in silence when faced with sexual problems like lack of sex drive, premature ejaculation, or erectile dysfunction. ED. We gave you the cure for ED on this program a few weeks ago. YG, yes. It says here 54% of women and 35% of men have problems, but fewer than 11% of men and 21% of women seek help, according to the survey published in the journal, and I have this one on my coffee table. It's called Sexually Transmitted Infections. One of my faves. It's kind of a coffee table book. I like some of the pictorials in there. It says here for both men and women, their first sexual encounter could be crucial to their future attitude to sex. The worse the experience, the more difficulty they may have in later life. Ever have this problem in a relationship? The first time you have sex, it isn't great. One person complains it hurts, that it itches, they're allergic to latex, I don't like that position, you're hurting me. And later on, things just never pick up. They just continue to deteriorate after that. Because the first time you have sex is usually the best you'll ever have. Certainly the first 6 months, and after that it's all downhill. It doesn't get better after the first 6 months. It just deteriorates. It says here couples had sex on average of 4 times a month. Dr. Mercer told Reuters people who had less than this were more likely to report sexual problems both short and long term. Why avoid relationships? Here's some more scientific evidence. Within a relationship, those less able to talk freely had more problems. She insisted that the findings had important implications for sex education and counseling services. But the sex drive of women, do we need a survey to tell us this, boys? The sex drive of women dropped sharply from those first heady months when they fell in love. Dr. Mercer said that women were more likely to report problems if they had kids in the house under the age of 5 That, of course, seems quite logical with the lack of sleep they are suffering. Does this sound appealing to you boys, all you boys saying you want to get married? This is what you're looking forward to. Except this is a scientific study of 11,000 people. I'm not making this stuff up. Of course, I don't have scientific evidence when I speak these things to you. I speak from experience, and then as we go, we find the scientific evidence that backs up what I'm telling you. Says here, the findings for men were in stark contrast. Dr. David Goldmeyer from the Sexual Function Clinic at St. Mary's Hospital in London said, as Dr. John Gray said, men really are from Mars and women from Venus. Women want to hear, they want to tell you about their day. When men sit down and hear about the woman's exhaustion, this is as likely as anything else to lead to sex. There is actually nothing wrong with these women bringing up a family. They're just tired and exhausted, as opposed to the men who have 10 times the level of testosterone. That just means we need more women to have sex with. Clearly, that one who's having kids and cleaning up puke all day long is not enough. The doctor continues, the final quote here is, a lot of women are very active sexually in the first 18 months to 3 years of a relationship and have a lot of spontaneous sexual desire, but then that goes. These are doctors from sexual dysfunction clinics. Doctors. A study of 11,000 men and women. More proof positive that you do not need a relationship. You do not need to live with someone. You do not need to get married, because this is some of what you get. And men have to admit it. Sex is very, very important, and anyone who says it isn't is lying to themselves. They're lying to everybody else. Am I wrong?
Tom. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Oh, man, it is good to hear your voice.
Yes, I know.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Kevin, calling from South Korea. Kevin on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
What's going on, Father?
Not much, son. How are you?
I'm doing well. Tom, I DTB'd. Tom, I was a pussy at one time, and now I'm a man. Check this out. So I came home on leave. I'm in the military, right?
Yeah.
I came home on leave last December. And for some reason, my fiance, did not want me to come out because I'm from Puyallup, she's from Port Angeles. So one night I decided to stroll out there. So come to find out that she never divorced her husband and she was living with the guy, right? Like a pussy, I took her back and everything. So I come back to South Korea and things were just completely weird. Completely weird. I mean, she's lying to me and everything else. So I did a little FBI research on her because she told me that, she finally divorced him and this and that. So I called the courthouse, come to find out that, she's been lying to me the whole time. And I confronted her about it. She kept on lying and lying and lying. So I called up the Sprint store, find out that, they gave me the password to her voicemail, found out she's been effing all these guys, and I called her, I DTB'd, and she's threatening me with a restraining order so she can ruin my law enforcement career. I was like, look, bitch, you're dumped. That's it. No more. Leave me alone.
Unbelievable. So she not only screwed around on you, she threatened your career.
Yes.
What a bitch.
Yes. And, so, I mean, she cannot tell the truth to save her life. And, she lies about small things. I'll give you a prime example. Like, one day we were talking about promotions. I was like, And because she went from civil to evidence because she works with the sheriff's office in the civil department. So she went from civil to evidence, and she's all like, "Oh yeah, I get like a $2 an hour raise." And then about like a year later, we're talking about the promotions because I just got promoted not too long ago, and she's all like, "Oh yeah, well it's so nice being in the military that you get paid whenever you get promoted." She goes, "I never got a dime." And so so she's just constantly lying, and her Tom, when I met her husband. I mean, he was just a complete pussy. He couldn't look me in the eye. It was like she just beat him up emotionally, and he just kept on coming back for more and more and more. And I'm done with her, and that's it.
Look at you, and you're proud of it.
I'm proud of it. I dumped that bitch. Hey, can I tell the listeners her name so they can?
No, because then she'll sue us. That'll be the next thing. But I tell you,
hey, Father, I would never do that to you, partner.
All right, hang on a second though, because Melinda wants to ask you a question. Melinda, what did you want to ask Kevin?
I just want to have one answer to one question. How did he get her access code from the phone company?
I had, because what happened was I played a little trick on her. I said, look, I was like, I need your Social Security number for some insurance, for my military life insurance. And she gave it to me. So I called the company. I was like, look, this is her Social Security number. I told them my whole situation. They're like, all right, here you go, partner. And I got into it. And so it comes to find out, there's this guy named David, right? And because she called me up one time, right? And there's this deputy over there. His name is Dave. And she called me up crying one day because he gotten fired or something like that. I'm like, why are you so upset? The guy's a dirtbag because she supposedly called sexual harassment on him and everything like that. And she goes, oh yeah, well his name is David. He's over in Eastern Washington. So I've been trying to get in contact with this guy so I can just warn him, right? Comes to find out that she tells him the guy's name is David.
Yeah, wait, stop. We cannot say names of people here.
Oh, I'm sorry. They were fictitious names, Father.
I don't know.
But anyway.
But we don't know.
Okay. Yeah, so anyway,
basically,
to find out.
So basically all we need is a Social Security number, and we are on our way to go undercover, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Got it. Thank you.
So who are you ready to bust, Melinda?
My sister's boyfriend.
Your sister's boyfriend?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, do you know what he's up to?
We think we have a good idea, and once we do our FBI work, we will call you back and give you the details.
All right, let me know. Now, Tim, what did you want to say to Kevin here? Tim.
He is an idiot. He sat there and let this girl drag him through the mud, and now he's proud he dumped her. She was cheating on him and everything else. He let it go too damn far before he did anything.
You're absolutely right, Tim. And you know what, partner? My father told me from day one, he said, look, this gal is a booty call. He's like, do not fall in love with her. And no, I tried to tell you, I'm 23, she's 35 with 2 kids.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, you got what you paid for.
Yeah.
You're proud now, but you should have done this a long time ago, dude.
You are, sir, you are absolutely right. I couldn't agree more. My father's been telling me that since day one. And, it could have been bad, because, she was kind of saying, well, I want a baby with you. I want a baby. I was like, hell no. And, I always wore condoms and everything. And, luckily I didn't knock the broad up. That would have been just terrible.
Well, start following the rules beforehand instead of after you've been, absolutely beat to death. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
from word go, you got to sit there and say, this is how it is, and don't put up with no...
Right.
Another word we can't use on the air. Kevin, Tim, thank you for the calls. 1-800-5800-TOM. We started this hour with new evidence of why you don't want to be married, why you don't want to be in a serious relationship, why, unless you absolutely are insane, obsessed with this, you don't want to have kids with some broad. Because there's less sex drive, more sexual problems. We read you the statistics on this. Christina on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. I've been married for 12 years. Well, excuse me, I've been with him for 12 years. We've been married for 7. And we have sex at least once a day, every day since we started. Every day. At least once in the morning, at least once when he gets home. What do you have to say to that, Tommy?
There are exceptions to every rule, dear.
Yeah, I know.
But most people who are together since they were 15 years old, generally those relationships do not last.
They generally
don't.
We're pretty comfortable with each other.
Even if you are, they generally don't.
Yeah, well, okay, I'm the exception. How about that?
Well, you might be.
Okay,
In which case, thank you so much. Doesn't prove anything. We always say there are exceptions to every rule on this show. 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Rusty on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
Hey, I just want to say, I listen to you all the time. First time I've called in, though. I hear all these guys and the crap they go through, and I just want to say I feel really lucky. I've been with my wife for 3 years now, married, but been together since high school, and I don't deal with any of that. She's so awesome. I get sex at least 4 times a week. She doesn't nag me. She lets me go out with the guys. I can go out to the strip clubs. I don't have to deal with any of that.
But you know that is an exception to the rule. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. It's rare.
And even in your case, the odds are the marriage won't last. That's just the odds.
Well, that's the odds, but I don't know, I'm pretty confident. I've been with her since freshman in high school. It's going on 10 years now, 26.
Yeah, but those are exactly the ones that don't last. The fact that you've been with her since high school, you're only 26. You're not 40.
Well, that's true. That's true.
And how many guys was she with before you?
None.
That's my point, Rusty.
Sexually, no.
There will come a time when her hormones kick in and she's going to wonder what she missed out on. You're laughing now.
You think so, huh?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Well, I mean, what if missing out on what? By being a slut?
Yeah. Or just by having other guys. You know what? I know you think you're the biggest stud in the world, but there might be somebody who can get the job done better than you.
Well, I'm not saying I'm the biggest stud.
But someday she may become curious about that. And many women like that do.
Well, that's very possible.
Not just possible, it's frequent.
Well, not yet. So.
Well, not yet.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Tom on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Pretty good.
I just got to say, man, I'm 35. I've got 2 kids, and like you said, and they stop having sex after the first one, man. It just goes downhill.
Well, that's mostly what's out there, and now these statistics back that up.
Yeah. If I would have known you before I got married, man, I would have never got married.
Well, I was here, Tom. Where were you?
I don't know. I was somewhere.
Busy falling in love. You were too busy to listen to the radio.
Either that or somewhere on drugs.
Now that your marriage is going in the tank, you've got plenty of time to tune in, right?
Yeah.
I know it works.
Yeah.
All right, Tom.
Yeah, I'd like to tell everybody out there, man, if you're going to get married, man, don't do it. Just seriously think about it.
Yeah, what's the point? What is the point? Josh on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Pops?
Not much, son.
All right, guys, here it is. Married at 22, 2 kids by 26. Now married 12 years. And my wife has told me that she doesn't want to live to my expectations anymore and is moving out.
There we go, Josh.
So that's just how it is, boys.
So all those boys would call in and go, well, I'm with my high school sweetheart, and we're the exception to the rule.
Yeah. You know what? I thought I was the exception to the rule.
They all think that.
I thought everything was going to be rosy till I was, 100 years old. Oh, sorry, Tom. Till I was 100 years old, but that's not the case, man.
No.
And there's nothing you can do about it once they make that decision. You're just out.
That's right.
You just are what you are. But I've been listening to Leykis for a while now, and I got my rule book polished up, so I'm ready to go hit it.
I'm proud of you, Josh.
All right, Tom.
All right. Appreciate the call. Let's say hello here to, Will on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom. How you doing?
Okay, Will.
I've got a similar situation. I actually married my high school sweetheart. We were together for 5 years before we got married. Married for 7, and then we ended up getting divorced.
No, there's one of these after another. Of course, the first 2 exceptions to the rule call in, and then the real truth starts coming out.
Right. I mean, I definitely thought she was an exception. She was super nice the whole time. Really didn't have a clue that anything was going on, but she came home with a VD on her annual, and I had to get tested, and that's how I found out.
Oh! How'd she explain that?
She actually explained that it was probably a mistake in the test, so she had to go back and get retested. I had been out of town for about 7 weeks, and then I got tested, and I told her, I better have something. And then I didn't have anything. So it wasn't something that was hidden and then came up later. It was something that happened while I was gone.
And how did she react to that?
Basically said that she tried to pull this whole God thing and said that she'd never cheated on me. It must be like a test from God to see if we were.
Oh, yeah, God gave her chlamydia.
Yeah, I told her, I said, I don't know that, I don't know where my faith is, but I heard of the Immaculate Conception, and I asked her if this was an immaculate infection. And our counselor didn't think that was too great because he was a pastor, but yes, I mean, there are definitely...
What did the pastor think? How did the pastor think she got infected?
He actually took her side and said that it had to have been a mistake because, he asked her in his presence if she did indeed cheat, and she said no, and he said, well, since he's a man of God, she wouldn't lie in front of him.
Oh, my God, there's great logic.
Yeah,
that's like those TV commercials years ago where the guy would say, I wouldn't lie, I'm the president of the company.
Exactly.
Like, oh, yeah, that gives you credibility.
Yeah, I mean, I got out really, I made it pretty lucky out of the whole marriage, though, because we didn't have kids, which was the smart thing.
Yeah.
But so she didn't really, she didn't get much. She had a pretty hardball lawyer, I had a hardball lawyer, and we just pretty much split everything, and I didn't get shafted with any support or anything.
Glad to hear it, Will. Of course, having to split with someone who gave you an STD, to me, 50-50, that isn't even fair. For God's sake.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Lady, how old are you?
I'm 41 years old.
You're over the hill.
I mean, I can't waste my time with you. The point of me calling in was not to talk to some immature man that wants...
You're a wrinkled douchebag.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Don't forget, Boys Night Out is it really? Tomorrow? At Seattle's Paramount Theater? Yes, it is. I'm your MC for this event. Bobby Slayton is our headliner. Steve Brewer and John DeResta will be there as well. And there will be no women. That means you will not be bringing any broads with you. No wives, no girlfriends, no ex-girlfriends, no female friends, none of it. None of it. Are you kidding me? No chicks. Oh, there'll be eye candy there for you, but it will not be brought by any of you. Understand? Or will make your life a living hell. If you think, by the way, I got a pathetic email from a guy today who bought... And by the way, he also listed these tickets on Craigslist.org. Guy bought tickets to Boys Night Out and then realized it was his anniversary. Now he's trying to sell his tickets. Oh, boy. Meow. So we're coming out of the wire here, boys. This is your last chance to come out and hang out with the boys tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. at the Paramount Theater. For tickets, call this number. By the way, it's just going to be an amazing night. It's our 11th anniversary on the air in Seattle. And there's going to be 2,000 or more guys there, just over the top. 206-529-4051 is the telephone number. 206-529-4051. You can also go to Ticketmaster.com. Or you can go to blowmeuptom.com for information about any Boys Night Out events. 206-529-4051 for Ticketmaster. And we'll see you there tomorrow night at 8:30 at the Paramount Theater. Now, Ben, you had a question for me. What was that?
Yeah, I'm a college student, and I'm a loyal listener. Absolutely love your show, and I'm willing to do just about anything to
really
get some tickets to Boys Night Out. I mean,
are you saying you'd be willing to do absolutely anything?
I'd probably eat dog crap to go to that show. I'm just so broke, but I love you, and that would just...
You would do anything to go to the show.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much I wouldn't do. I definitely want to be there.
Did you have sex with a guy?
Oh, no, that's
well, you said just about anything.
You're right. I'll
have a suite. I'll bring you up there. We got cameras.
Yeah.
We got some good seats.
What's that?
We've got some good seats.
Yeah, I would, you know, there's not too much I wouldn't do.
Except that. You wouldn't do.
Oh, I'm sorry, what's that?
That you wouldn't. Have sex with a man. You wouldn't do that.
No, I couldn't have sex with a man. I mean, would you do that?
How about a 350-pound woman?
A 350-pound woman?
Yeah. Seattle, that's not hard to find.
I could probably do that, but...
You could do that.
I don't know that I'd want to, but, you know...
Well, but if I would give you 2 good seats, would you do it?
Yeah, you know, I'd probably do that.
Really? All right, well, hang on.
Actually,
give Dean your phone number.
I'm not that pathetic, actually.
Oh. Maybe you can't afford to buy the ticket.
But, yeah, there's just no way it'll fit into my budget.
Just thought I would check. 206-529-4051 for those of you who do have the money to buy tickets. That's how it works. 1-800-5800-TOM. Michelle on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Michelle. I know.
Yes, I've been married for 16 years, and I wanted to ask your opinion on this. Actually, our anniversary is coming up. My husband we're both very in love with each other. We've known each other for a very long time.
How long have you known each other?
18 years. We were friends for a year before we dated, and then we started dating and got married a year later. And we had children right away, which is probably a problem. We have 4 kids.
And you got married at what age?
I was 22.
And the relationship began at what, 21?
Yes. Yes.
So,
I was young.
Too young.
I guess so. But now I have this dilemma because I have a 15-year-old daughter and all the way down to a 6-month-old daughter and 2 boys in between, 12 and 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that he's very happy. We're very in love with each other and everything's great. We have sex about 3 times a week. But he has to have, like, a young girl once in a while on the side. He doesn't want to have sex with her, is what he tells me, you know.
Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he wants to touch her, and he wants to have her touch him. They go to hotel rooms, and they do that.
Oh, so he has someone already.
Oh, yeah, he's done this. Yeah, he goes to Craigslist, finds women that are, like, therapists. They say they're therapists.
Therapists, yes.
Therapists and...
Well, I'm a cunning linguist and a master debater, and I'm also an amateur gynecologist. Just in case anyone needs my services.
Well, that's how he gets them, and then he pays them for their services.
And he pays them for being therapists.
Yes.
That's very nice. Well,
they're massage therapists, so they have a...
Sure they are.
Yeah.
Happy Endings Incorporated.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
My question to you is, I mean, my daughter knows about this as well, and she's the only one out of the 4 that know, and I don't know, he says he's happy the way he is, everything's wonderful, he's happily married, he wants to grow old forever, but to me, this is like a time bomb. I've never cheated on him. I was with 3 men, including him, before I got married. I just don't know if this is, it's really hard to keep it inside and not leave him, but I love him, and I know that I probably would end up in a similar situation with somebody else if I was to leave him. So I just wanted to know your opinion.
What my opinion specifically about what?
What do you think I should do?
Well, I mean, do you want to be with a guy who goes to Craigslist and finds chicks and goes to hotel rooms with them?
No, I don't. It's very hard to deal with.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't know if I was to move on, if I would also be with, like the men on your show, if I would be with someone that would also not be faithful, and I'd be back.
Well, the problem you got to run into with 4 kids is finding a man at all.
Exactly. That's true.
I mean, there's not a lot of guys who want to pick up the remains of some other relationship.
And I have a great life. I mean, I have a housekeeper. We have a lot of money, and I don't have to work.
Now, how does he feel about you getting on Craigslist?
He would hate that. He'd leave me in a minute.
Oh, I see. So what he wants is he wants to do what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, you're proving my point here. I don't mean to use your life to beat you over the head with it, but I mean, you're proving my point here. This is why it's not a good idea, especially to get married young.
Right.
But for a man, it's not a good idea to get married at all because this is what you get. This is how it gets.
I know, and it's so, I mean, he believes very much like you. He's pretty much atheist. He doesn't really have any reason to, any guilt behind it to stay in a commitment.
Well, you don't have to be religious to feel guilt.
Well, he doesn't feel guilt. I mean, he feels bad that he's hurt me, but he doesn't feel bad for
How did you find out about it, by the way?
I checked his phone records on his phone. I had suspicion. He's flirtatious, but that's his character, and I didn't...
And did he cop right away?
No. No, I had to, like, totally call all these girls' numbers and ask what he does with them and what, you know... what.
And they said, yes, this is Dr. Smith, and I was giving him therapy.
No, they said he...
At the Dewdrop Inn. What?
Like, he would call them, and he would come and check them out first. He would go as a massage therapist or whatever therapist, a physical therapist. He would meet them, see if they were...
Oh, so he's a massage therapist?
No, he's not. He would go for ads on Craigslist for massage therapists. He doesn't want a hooker. He doesn't want a prostitute. He wants a girl that's 23 or something, or 24, clean. He doesn't want her to be...
Why should she be clean? I mean, she could be HIV positive and give him a massage.
Because he doesn't use condoms, ever.
Well, for what? Ever. Again, because he's having sex with these girls.
That's what he says to me.
All right, so he told you he's having sex with them.
I know, but he's you know, he's been so honest about everything. It's just that he just said he can't have sex with them because he's worried about getting them pregnant because he doesn't like condoms, or he, you know, doesn't want a disease. So because of the fact that he doesn't like condoms, he's not going to risk it and, you know, have this get pregnant or come home with some disease. So I'm just really torn. I just don't know what I should do. I go back and forth with it all the time. I know I have a great life, but I also have a life that he's living a double life, you know?
Well, not anymore because he's telling you what he's doing.
He is.
He was living a double life. Then you caught him. Then he copped.
Right.
By the way, Dean says your daughter overheard something that I should ask you about.
She did. Actually, my daughter was, because of his character, the way he's flirtatious with the girls at Starbucks or whatever, and he's a very good-looking guy. He's Middle Eastern, and he just, you know, he likes to have fun and joke, and so my daughter kind of caught on that this wasn't behavior like father behavior, and so she ended up spying on him, like listening to his phone calls or following him around. So she went in and heard him actually speaking to another girl when I was pregnant with my daughter, and overheard him saying, "Sweetie, I got to sneak you in here sometime," you know, that kind of stuff. And she was totally traumatized. She didn't speak to him for 3 months. She wanted me to divorce him. So I'm really torn on that too, because I do have 2 daughters. I mean, am I pretty much telling them that they have to live with this kind of situation in their lives too by not divorcing?
Well, it's going to be in their lives whether you divorce him or not.
Yeah.
Because he's still going to be their father.
Well, and whoever he goes on to marry, I mean, I'm not perfect.
Well, why do you assume he's going to get married? That's an amazing assumption.
Well, because he can't be alone. He hates to be alone, hates it. Like, even when he goes on trips, I'm sure he's got to find somebody because he just...
So you're saying he married you because he hates to be alone. That doesn't sound like a love story to me.
It doesn't sound like love to me either. I mean, I love him. I've never...
I know, but you keep telling me how much he's in love with you, but then you tell me he can't stand to be alone. So it sounds to me like he's with you because he can't stand to be alone.
Exactly.
Hang on a second, Michelle. Mary with an I is calling in here, and I think she's got an earful for you. Mary, what do you want to say to Michelle?
Hi, Tom. I so didn't want to call in because, first of all, I'm driving. I've just left Irvine. I'm drunk or whatever. But when she said that he doesn't use condoms, sweetie, let me tell you something. I hate to say this. I'm being very honest. I so didn't want to call in. I have a friend who is HIV positive, and she does that stuff. And she goes out with these married men. If he hates, and I know a lot of guys, because they're married or whatever, they don't like to use condoms, which is so stupid. She's going around, and she's honestly having sex with guys on purpose and not telling them. And she's absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. HIV... You know, gonorrhea, all that crap does not have a face. These girls aren't crackheads. They don't. You won't know. Most of the people who have it, they don't look like that. And I don't even care about you because you sound really stupid to me to be so concerned about him. You're like, well, he doesn't want to be alone and all that. Screw that. You have kids.
It's not that he wants to. It's not that he
you're so concerned.
I love him too.
Listen. It doesn't matter. You're so concerned with him and all this stuff. What about you? What about your kids? This is why, and people give Tom so much crap about not having kids. Dude, I don't have kids either because I like to have sex. I like to party. I like to drink. You don't do that stuff. When you have kids, it's not about you anymore. It's about those kids. And how dare you let him go out and have sex and do all this stuff and risk, you know, bringing you home a disease. Oh, my goodness. The least he could do is respect his family enough to use a freaking condom. And you're
I know, but
debating,
that's the whole thing.
should I go?
Well,
just say, dude, let them kill you. And your kids, maybe they have good godparents or something. Let them kill you, let them kill his stuff, and everybody will be free. I mean, but I'm just telling you, if this dude, if you've caught him and he's telling you that he's on Craigslist, at least
get out while you can.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Really?
1-800-5800-866.
I like the show, but I don't agree with everything, and I just want
But you can't stop listening. It's like a bad car wreck all of a sudden. You see one, you stop on the highway. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, the humanity. Oh, Jesus.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Send us an email, tom@blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.